The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 181 of the Daily Mother Swole. Feeling good today. I worked out yesterday, so I usually work out, but I did I did upper body. I feel good. I'm back in my flow, and I worked out for a long period of time. I did a lot of volume, so kind of wiped me out. I'm a little bummed that the Indians lost the World Series, but it was a great game if you watched it. Episode 181, this is 5 reasons to lift more weight. 5 reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reasons to lift more weight. 1, to be a man. Oh, 1, I like this on Periscope. 1, to be a man. 2, because you can. I don't think those are good reasons. I mean, they're good reasons, but 3, to be a woman. Come on. You got to be nice. Be nice. 4, because you should. And 5, because I do. Done. The episode is over. We can leave now. Thank you, Periscope, for participating and doing my job for me. I appreciate it. That's right. Good. All right, so let's get on with the show. 5 reasons to increase weight. 5 reasons to lift some more fucking weight. If for no reason, just because, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you lift more weight? No. First one, you want more muscle. That might seem like the most obvious one, but trust me, it's not. A lot of women, especially, I'm not picking on women during this episode, but most women don't lift enough weight. They don't lift heavy enough. So I have to actually really stress that because I'm really trying to change the way that women look at resistance training. If you want more muscle, male or female, you have to lift more weight. You have to increase your resistance. What this means is not going from 3 pounds to 5 pounds. It means lifting more weight to your capacity, lifting more weight to failure. That means if you are failing, let's say you're lifting 5-pound dumbbells doing curls and you're doing, let's say 15, 20 repetitions, and at 20 or 23, it's starting to burn and you're getting fatigued. No, that means that you need to lift 10, 12, 15-pound dumbbells. So when you're getting to 9, 10, 11, 12 repetitions, that becomes your new limit. That becomes the maximum that you can do in a row for that set. So it's super important to lift weight. It's super important to lift weight to failure, and especially for females, especially for males, especially for anyone, for dogs, for cats, anyone that wants to build more muscle, you have to lift heavier weight, and it's to failure. So it's not just, I want to lift more weight, and I did 10 reps, I'm fine. No, it's about lifting a certain amount of weight where you fail in a certain rep range, and that's between 6 to about 12, 15 repetitions, depending on the exercise, depending on your experience, depending on a couple things. There's a couple factors where it'll come into play with what rep range will work for you, what you can do and still build muscle, and of course, diet comes into play and all that good stuff. But you need to lift more weight. Done. So lift more weight for more muscle. Number 2 is to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, and I'm talking about losing weight, losing fat. If you want to burn fat, if you want to burn or metabolize more fat, you need to build more muscle, have more muscle in your body. Unless you want to look anorexic, like a skinny model or something horrific like that, you want to starve yourself to death. But if you're trying to lose weight and look, quote, toned, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit too, that there's no such thing as toning, there's building muscle and having less fat. When you build muscle and you're dieting after you're developing more muscle mass, it's easier to metabolize fats. Your body can stay leaner more efficiently because your body is utilizing more fuel. And as you use more fuel on a regular basis throughout the entire day, you are metabolizing fats at rest. And when you have more muscle mass on your body, you're utilizing more fats all the time. More muscle equals more fat is utilized metabolically. It's straight up simple, and I wanted to slow down and enunciate that because I think a lot of people are afraid of lifting heavier and building muscle, that they're going to get huge and look like a bodybuilder. You're not going to look anabolic. You're not going to look like a bodybuilder. You're not going to look massive. You're not going to look absolutely swollen because you're eating some chicken and you're lifting a couple dumbbells. Those guys are taking anabolic steroids. Those guys have lifted for 20, 30 years. In order for you to build a significant amount of muscle mass, you have to be lifting heavy and doing overload training and caloric overload for years and years and years. It doesn't happen that quickly. You need to increase your resistance training, fail between 6 and 12 or 15 repetitions. You can increase your caloric intake, like your protein, to make sure you're getting enough fuel to rebuild, getting carbohydrates around your workouts, good, fibrous carbohydrates, sweet potatoes, white rice. Not that white rice has fiber, but it absorbs readily, before or after a workout. So everyone's going to react differently to certain foods, especially carbohydrates, allergies, and so forth. But your proper caloric intake with increased resistance training is going to help you build muscle, number one, and it's going to help you lose weight and burn fat, number two. Number three, strength. Of course, if you're lifting more weight, you're going to increase your strength. But why? Why does lifting more muscle increase your strength? Lifting more muscle increases strength because when you are increasing the overload, when you're increasing the external force on your body, you are triggering the body and demanding that the body increase motor unit recruitment and synchronization. What that means is every single muscle fiber and grouping of muscle fiber has a certain nerve cell that fires all those fibers in order so they can contract and the muscle can move and the arm can move, for example, and the weight can be pushed. When you increase the resistance, your body gets better at firing those neurons that control the muscles and firing multiple neurons together at the same time. The more the body can fire these nerve cells at the same time, the louder the shout will be, in a sense. The more powerful the contraction will be. And your body doesn't learn that. Your body doesn't learn how to contract muscle fibers faster and more, with more synchronicity if you don't lift heavier weight. Your body just doesn't learn. No, your body has to be exposed to this. So if you're consuming the right amount of calories, you're lifting heavier weight, your body will have the tools and the fuel in order to stimulate the motor neurons and those motor units, those sets of cells and fibers to fire when you desire. I like that, to fire when you desire. So more weight and extra weight and that overload will trigger your body to adapt to that. Remember, it's all about adaptation. So if you do a heavy weight training workout one time, it's not going to work. You got to do it over and over and over again. So if you do that for a few weeks, you'll start to see those adaptations, and then you can adjust and change your program up, come back to it. But you definitely need to go into a period of strength training and a hypertrophy training if you're looking to see those adaptations. You can't just do one or two workouts. Number 4, plateau. If you hit a plateau, if you're bored, if you're stagnant with your training, if you're doing a lot of maybe higher repetitions, if you're not seeing any results, you should try lifting heavier. Try doing maybe some super low repetitions. Try dropping from 10 reps to 8 or 6 reps. Try, even if you're a female, try going from, let's say you're doing 15 reps, start increasing your weight over the next couple of weeks for 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps. Push yourself a little bit more. Shake it up a little bit. Shake the pot. Just because you're going heavy doesn't mean you're going to get huge and doesn't mean you have to do it forever. But if you do it for a couple of weeks, it can give you the strength, give you a little bit of that neuromuscular jolt in order to get more results and maybe get more definition. If you drop back down to a higher repetition scheme for the next couple months, every once in a while, shake it up, build a stronger base. And that leads me into number 5, and that's especially for females and anyone that just does more lighter, maybe group exercise classes that doesn't lift heavy regularly enough. This could be a great shock for you, especially for anyone, but really especially that category. And that leads me to number 5 is bone density and skeletal overload. If you're not lifting heavy, if you're not lifting heavy weight, and this is one of the reasons why only swimming for exercise is dangerous. And a lot of older people do swimming only because their joints hurt, blah, blah, blah. It's really bad because there's no overload against gravity. If you're not lifting weights, you're not building and developing your bone. Bone is a tissue. Bone is organic. Bone develops. It grows and it disappears. If you're not doing resistance training, if you don't do any kind of skeletal overload, squats, holding dumbbells, machines, anything where it puts stress on your skeletal system, you are at risk for osteoporosis, especially if it runs in your family, you're even at more risk. So if you're not doing overload on your body, you might not notice it at 20, you might not notice it at 30 or 40, but then once you start getting to 50, 60, women especially get to menopause age, and women are more susceptible to osteoporosis than men, it will hit you like a ton of bricks and you can't come back from it. You can't come back from it. If you have it running in your family, if you have anyone else that has osteoporosis, you absolutely have to do resistance training or you are going to be fucked. And really what that leads to is, delicate bone structures. If you trip and fall or you land the wrong way or you sit down too hard in a chair, you can crack your hip, you can fracture bones. It takes a lot longer to heal, if it heals at all, and it can limit your mobility, and it usually leads to early death because people get depressed and they lose their mobility. They're in wheelchairs, they're very frail, and it's a really shitty way to go because it's very, very preventable. Pretty much you have to get off your ass and lift some weights. It's simple. If you're just doing it to prevent osteoporosis, you don't have to lift like I do. Trust me, it's a lot less of a volume if you're only interested in it from that aspect. But if you want to build more muscle, lose weight, increase strength, break a plateau, and also help your bone density and your skeleton, well, I'll tell you right now, you best be lifting some more weights. And that's something that I might be doing myself today. Thank you for joining me for episode 181 of the Daily Swole. I'll be here tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time for episode 182. Remember, I'm looking right at you, YouTube, Periscope live at Swolenormous, Facebook live at Swolenormous, and also you can catch the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram, on Snapchat. If you're not following me or you're not subscribed, and follow my YouTube channel, exercise videos, Daily Swole, all the episodes, Swole Motion, my vlog, driving while gaining, got Eli's video, got so much stuff on my YouTube channel, so check it out, like, subscribe, youtube.com/Swolenormous, SoundCloud, iTunes podcast, live double broadcast every day, Periscope, and Facebook at Swolenormous. Thank you for joining me. I will see everyone tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time for episode 182 of the Daily Swole. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your Thursday.